Let me ask you, when last did you feed your soul? Yes, so I don't see my soul, I only see my body. Your soul is nourished to the extent that you feed it, and you must feed it well, nourish it well, so that you're feeling right, you're thinking right, and you're making the right decisions. How do you feed your soul? There are ways to go about it, but do you know that the things that you watch impact on how well nourished your soul is? What you listen to, how you spend your ear time. Every time you make statements, the first person who hears you is you. Your words must nourish you. And so if you're verbalizing negativity, you're verbalizing destructive words, you will definitely experience it in that light. Your soul will be so drained in the negativity that you see, right? You must begin to pay attention to these things, because they don't just dent your soul, but they create the weight at which you are able to interpret what God has deposited in your soul. When you do these three things intentionally, you will begin to experience some level of nourishing in your soul, so that you can stay well, feel well, think well, and make the right decision. You are what you eat. Yes, I know that you must have heard this thing over and again, and sometimes it will begin to sound like cliche to you. But no, you are actually what you eat. We take that phrase sometimes underestimating what exactly it is saying, and just putting it in a box as regards our physical health, our physical body. Oh, I must eat balanced diet. I must take in the rice, the beans, the protein, the carbohydrate, the vitamin. Just ensure that your plate is rich, nourishing your body and staying fit. But how many of us pay attention to our souls? Yes, your soul is nourished to the extent that you feed it. Just like you nourish your body, you want to ensure that you're fit, you're taking in the right food at the right time, taking adequate water. All of those are important, yes, but your soul is also important, because it's the seat of your feelings, of your thought, and your will. And you must feed it well, nourish it well, so that you're feeling right, you're thinking right, and you're making the right decisions. So let me ask you, when last did you feed your soul? Yes, I mean you listening to me. And if you watch to this point, I think it's high time you click that subscribe button and join the family. We are excited and can't wait to receive you. And this is how you stay plugged to receiving videos that are enlightening, inspirational, and soulful, to help you stay in tangent, so that you experience the prosperity of your soul and nursing everything that God has deposited in. So have you clicked the subscribe button? One more. Turn on your notification, so that you are first to be informed when new videos go up. Back to the conversation. How do you feed your soul? Yes, I know you're asking that question already. How should I feed my soul? I don't see my soul, I only see my body. But there are ways to go about it. There are things you must begin to do and be intentional about if you must have a well-nourished soul, a soul that you can stay well, feel well, think well, and make the right decision. First thing I will share with you is what you watch. And we're constantly scrolling on social media, just scrolling and smiling and checking through and just enjoying the moment. But do you know that the things that you watch impact on how well nourished your soul is? Your sight takes in a lot of things. Statistics say that we have up to 70,000 thoughts a day. But what's actually feeding those thoughts? Where are those thoughts coming from? Something you've engaged your physical body with, something you've exposed yourself to, right? Is what is influencing those thoughts, whether they are negative or positive. And so if you must enjoy prosperity of your soul, you must pay attention to what you watch. whether it's movie, whether it's social media, anything at all. They must be wholesome things. They must be things void of toxicity that would nourish your soul other than derail or destroy it. Number 2 thing of how you should nourish your soul is paying attention to what you hear. Yes, what you listen to, how you spend your ear time, right? Who you listen to, the conversations that you have, right? You must begin to pay attention to these things because they don't just dent your soul, but they create the weight at which you are able to interpret what God has deposited in your soul. And allow me speak to believers who have received God's plan and purpose for their lives, or who knows what God has called them to do per season, per time, but they are unable to come into the fulfillment of what God has said because their soul is wrongly interpreting what God has said, right? God has said something, but because your soul is not properly interpreting it, you are unable to materialize and make tangible the words that God has declared to you directly or through somebody. And that's why it's important, like scripture gives us admonition in Romans 12:2, that we should not be conformed to this world, but we should be transformed by the constant renewal of our mind. And so it means that your mind is a tool at which God will invade your space, at which God will come to you, at which you will experience God, at which you will live the blueprint of God for your life. And this means that you must pay attention to what you're hearing. You could be hearing God's voice and hearing other voices. You're hearing what the word is saying, you're hearing what people are saying, you're hearing what people are thinking. You must guard your heart in depth with all diligence, because out of it are exactly the issues of life. The third thing I will share with you in this video as to what you must begin to do intentionally to ensure that you experience the prosperity of your soul by nourishing it well is being intentional about what you say. Yes. Don't just say anything. Don't say anything. Don't just say as it comes to your mind. You know how people say, I see what comes to my mind. I would just say, calm down. Yes, calm down. Your words must be grateful. Yes, your words must be reputable. Your words must be such one that gives grace to whoever is hearing it, like Ephesians says to us, right? Your words must nourish you, because every time you make statements, the first person who hears you is you. And so if you're verbalizing negativity, you're verbalizing destructive words, the things you are saying is a negation to your life outcome, you will definitely experience it in that life. Your soul will be so drained in the negativity that you see, such that you feel your feelings, your thoughts, and even your decisions will not align or be in tandem with what God has positioned you for or proposed you for. Remember, the scripture says that a man is blessed by the fruit of his lips. And so you want to be careful with what you say, how you say it. Your words must be awesome. Your words must be grateful. Your confession, you must be an optimistic person. Don't just think that, I'm just going to verbalize it. No. And whoever takes it, let them take it. No. You are the first recipient of those words. And so you have to be very careful. A word fitly spoken is as apple of gold in pictures of silver. That's what Proverbs says to us. I know that's the book of wisdom, right? So you must be very intentional with your words. Don't use vulgar words. Don't use abusive words. Don't use negative words. When you do these 3 things intentionally, paying attention to what you hear, what you see, and the words that you speak, you will begin to experience some level of nourishing in your soul. And remember that it is a continued journey. It's not a one-off experience. It is something that you must continue to do. Make it an habitual practice in your life. That I want to ensure that my life is experiencing the tranquility that God had ordained it for. And so that I can experience the wholeness, can experience the completeness, I can experience the prosperity that God had proposed for me from the very beginning. If this video blessed you, allow me ask you, only request that you subscribe and turn on your notification, or much more, ensure that you share with somebody who needs to hear this, so that we can all live our lives, the prosperity that God has ordained for it. I will see you in my next video.